The learning objective of this chapter is to examine the contents of the Imdg code and its supplement, leading to an understanding of their application. Note: this module is based on the Imdg Code 2008 edition, International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, incorporating Amendment 3408 and the 2008 supplement. Where the phrase "the code" is used in this module, it refers to this code. The Imdg Code is an international agreement for the transport of dangerous goods by sea. It is published by the IMO. Many sections of the code apply more to those who work ashore in documenting, packaging and handling dangerous goods, or in the manufacture of packaging. The ship's senior officers and shoreside management staff will also need to know about and use the code a lot more than you will be required to do. In most situations, you will be following instructions for loading or discharging your ship, and all of the planning and documentation will have been done by the officers and shore staff. However, a basic knowledge of the contents and provisions of all areas of the code will ensure that all seafarers are better able to perform their own duties. It is also important to point out that the majority of problems with dangerous cargo consignments are not the fault of the ship's personnel in any way. Problem shipments are frequently intercepted at the point of loading by vigilant staff, and a good reporting procedure between crew and the responsible officers is essential. Make sure you follow this instruction. If you see something you are not sure about, report it. The Imdg Code comprises 2 volumes and a supplement as shown. Click on the 3 covers to view the respective tables of contents. Volume 1 contains the following: Volume 2 contains the following: The supplement contains the following: The supplement contains the following: The most used part of the code is the dangerous goods list, found in Chapter 3.2 in Volume 2. You will not normally be required to work with this list. The ship's senior officers and the shore team will handle the necessary paperwork, often on computer, but this chapter will help you understand what is involved. Dangerous goods are listed here in numerical order, according to their unique 4-digit United Nations numbers. If you only have the name of the substance, start by looking up the UN number in the index at the back of Volume 2, and then enter the list. The dangerous goods list is divided into 18 columns, which contain references to additional instructions elsewhere in the code. This is the unique identifying number assigned to a dangerous substance, material, or article. This shows the official or proper shipping name of a dangerous substance, material, or article to be used in any documentation relating to transportation. Substances are divided into groups according to their type, and these are called classes. Some are further categorized into divisions. This column indicates the class of the substance, material, or article. This column indicates if there are any additional risks associated with the substance.
and also identifies those dangerous goods considered to be marine pollutants or severe marine pollutants using the symbol P. For packing purposes, substances or articles of certain groups have been divided into 3 categories, or packaging groups, according to the degree of danger they present. High danger, Group 1, medium danger, Group 2, and low danger, Group 3.
This column contains a number referring to any special provisions relevant to the substance or article.
Different rules apply to the transport of dangerous goods of certain classes when there is only a limited quantity. The maximum quantity per inner packing under which the provisions of this chapter apply is indicated in column 7A. For small quantities of certain classes, the shipments may even be exempt from the majority of requirements, and, if applicable, these quantities are shown by way of an alphanumeric code in column 7B. This column contains a letter number code, which refers to a detailed list of instructions concerning the use of packagings.
This column contains a similar letter number code, which refers to certain special packing provisions. This column shows codes that refer to instructions concerning the use of intermediate bulk containers. This column contains codes which refer to special packing provisions applicable to IBCs.
This column is now reserved for data in a future revision of the code. The data which it contained up until now is no longer valid.
This column applies to more modern portable tanks and road tank vehicles. This column contains codes referring to special provisions for the transport of dangerous goods in portable tanks and road tank vehicles. The entries in this column refer to the relevant emergency instructions for fire and spillage, which are found in the EMS Guide Emergency Response Procedures for Ships Carrying Dangerous Goods in the supplement.
This column shows requirements for the stowage and segregation of the different packages.
This column contains further special information on the chemical properties of dangerous goods listed. This is simply a repeat of the unique identifying number, as also shown in column 1, to assist in tracing information across the 2 adjacent pages. Some substances, materials or articles are not mentioned specifically by name in the dangerous goods list. These are referred to as generic or not otherwise specified cargoes and are listed in Appendix A to the code.
The index found at the back of Volume 2 contains an alphabetical listing of all commonly shipped substances, materials, and articles. In this index, if the word C appears after the name in the substance, material, or article column, this indicates the entry as a synonym, and reference must be made to the entry in the dangerous goods list against the UN number and proper shipping name shown. 3 columns appear alongside the names, indicating marine pollutants, class, and UN number for ready reference to the most commonly required items.
The learning objectives of this chapter are to give those personnel involved in handling dangerous goods an understanding of the criteria used to determine whether goods should be considered as dangerous, and a working knowledge of the 9 classes and their respective divisions to which dangerous goods are assigned. The classification is described in Chapter 2, contained in Volume 1 of the Imdg Code. All chemicals are to greater or lesser extent hazardous to human health or to the environment. While a chemical liquid may not necessarily damage the skin on contact, it could be dangerous if consumed. The hazard posed arises from either the substance or article itself, often caused by a change in its storage or transport condition, or by reaction of the substance or article with other substances in the immediate surrounding area. It is very important, therefore, that those responsible for stowing cargo in a ship understand the risks involved with every package of dangerous cargo, and that any instructions about safe stowage fully. For safe handling, the UN has divided hazardous substances and articles into 9 classes, based on the type of hazard that they present. The purpose of classification is to divide dangerous goods into broad groups according to the hazard, or the most predominant of the hazards they represent. The potential for harm to personnel, the environment, or equipment has been assessed in terms of reactivity, flammability, toxicity, and corrosiveness. Scroll down to see all the Imdg class labels. There are 9 classes, some of which have been further sorted into subgroups called divisions. Note that the order of the class numbers does not indicate the degree of danger, but only the type of hazard. The classes are explosives, gases, flammable liquids, flammable solids, substances liable to spontaneous combustion, substances which in contact with water emit flammable gases, oxidizing substances and organic peroxides, toxic and infectious substances, radioactive material, corrosive substances, miscellaneous dangerous substances and articles, Class 9, and environmentally hazardous substances. Chemical explosions are usually caused by very rapid burning of a substance or mixture of substances in the presence of oxygen in the air. Class 1, explosives, has 6 divisions. Goods of Class 1 are described as compatible if they can be safely stowed or transported together without significantly increasing the chance of an accident. With this in mind, goods listed in this class are stowed according to a special table which ensures adequate distance between respective packages. Gases may be either compressed, liquefied, or refrigerated liquefied. Class 2 substances are grouped according to the primary hazard of the gas during transport, namely Class 3 includes Class 4 comprises of substances, except those classified as explosives, which readily catch on fire or may cause or contribute to a fire. There are 3 groups. Class 5 comprises of 2 groups. Class 6 deals with toxic and infectious substances and is made up of 2 groups. Class 7. All radioactive materials are dangerous to a greater or lesser degree because they emit radiation, which is invisible and may damage body tissue. The carriage of radioactive materials involves special procedures and equipment, and those involved in handling radioactive materials receive specialist training. Class 8. Corrosive substances are those substances which by chemical reaction will cause severe damage when in contact with living tissue, or, in the case of leakage, will materially damage or even destroy other cargoes or the framework of the ship. Class 9 covers substances and articles which present a danger not covered by other classes in the Code.
Substances considered hazardous to the aquatic environment are considered together with Class 9 substances and articles for the purpose of classification under the Code. Marine pollutants are substances which are subject to the provisions of Annex 3 of MARPOL 73/78.